this morning, I woke up to the news that we have a Master Duel Banlist as well that will be in effect January 10th. And this one I have not seen at all yet. It's hard for it to be worse than the last one, so I'm expecting it to be better than the last one. I'll say that much. Cards to be unlimited. Ooh, redox to 3. Oh, okay. Who's gonna... Is it all of them? Oh, yes, it's all of them. Oh, yes. Oh, who's gonna tell MBT? MBT is gonna be scared, man. I don't know if MBT is gonna be able to sleep until January 10th. We have all 12, man. It's glorious. I've said it before. I don't think that these are gonna be hugely impactful, but if there was any way to make these ever viable again, we needed the full package. Because we've already established one thing very, very clearly. The Dragon Rulers are not super splashable. Playing a Redox in an Earth deck or playing a Blaster in a Fire deck, those kind of things, they are just not very good, because the cards themselves on their own are not actually good cards anymore. The only way you can use these cards is all of them together, which is simply not possible if you only have one of each, or like maybe 2 Tempest, 3 Blaster. Like we had 7 Dragon. That's not enough. Now that we have 12, maybe you can experiment with it. I mean, I'm gonna do it. Even though I'm just now noticing the UR sign at the top right, all of them are ultra rares. Maybe we're not gonna try it. But still, I'm excited for that. I'm not excited in the way that I think they're gonna be good. It's just some cards that I have very fond memories of. Maybe I'm just excited about the idea of these being playable. The small chance, right? Just the ability to play them makes me happy. Speedroid Terratop kind of following suit from the TCG where it went to 2 recently, going from 1 to 3. I'm scared of that card. I don't have very fond memories of Terratop, I'll say that much. It's probably less impactful in a Maxi environment. There's a lot of other cards that alone can do some crazy stuff with 1 brick in the deck. That's kind of like a very established kind of thing in Yu-Gi-Oh now, that there's a couple like good 1-card starters that require like a brick in your deck, and then you can do some crazy stuff with it. Terratop is just another one of those, I suppose. I mean, it's a special summon, so it's a little bit better than those other ones, but still. Speaking of which, Ulfris Scorpio is kind of the same thing, right? Another 1-card starter that does crazy shit. To be honest, I don't think there's a difference between 2 and 3 Scorpios. I think that's fine, because the card wasn't the problem at 2. And even when it was at 2, there was like a lot of ways to access the card beyond just drawing it. There's like Lone Fire Blossom and stuff like that, right? So like whatever, I guess, you know, put it to 3. And then we have Longyan to 3. Honestly, this one is long overdue. Literally, I don't think there should be a single Sword Soul card on the ban list, which is now the case, I believe, outside of freaking Protoss. Like, Protoss should not be legal, everything else should be free. And now this is all the unlimits. Now we're getting the semi-limits. We get a Pearly Pretty Memory. Okay, wait, what does this put us at? 2 Pearly, 2 Pretty Memory, 2 Delicious. Sleepy is still at 3. Okay, that's not too bad of a hit, honestly. Hurts a little bit because of your odds on the White Cat and stuff like that. Like, of course, like, you don't want it to be there, but like, it's not the worst. Fenrir to 1. Okay, removing the Fenrir super splash ability of putting 2 Fenrirs into every single deck. This is a change I was asking for in the TCG. We didn't get it. I will say I like this one a little bit less in Master Duel. The reason why I liked it more in Master Duel is because it's a card that usually, unless your opponent shotguns Maxi, it's one of those cards that makes it so you can still put up some kind of board when you go first. Like, you special Fenrir, then you start playing, your opponent Max sees you, you're like, okay, well, I can pass and have a Fenrir, maybe I'll survive with another hand trap or something like that. Or like going second into a board, if they don't shotgun the Max C, you can summon the Fenrir already, and that helps you deal with some of the stuff that they do. All that aside, the Roach should be banned anyways, so I'm not going to use that as an argument to defend Fenrir. It's just one of the reasons why I don't like this change as much in Master Duel as I would have liked it in the TCG. I still think Fenrir deserves to be here. I just want to make that clear. There's still a lot of decks that are still going to be playing Fenrir. I mean, Kashtira, of course, but also something like Vanquish Soul. Every deck that can basically make some use out of searching something like a Rise Heart is still gonna play Fenrir. You can still play 2 copies if you count Wraithsoth, so you're still gonna see it a decent amount. You just can't do the Fenrir search Fenrir in every single deck anymore, which I think is fair. Inspector Border, oh, I spoiled myself. Tikaboo as well. Floodgates in every game, man. somewhere at Konami, somewhere it has clicked. Maybe someone left the company who was defending Floodgates and had a lot of say in the things or something like that. Maybe someone got exchanged with another person who actually understands that Floodgates are bad for the game. You know, something must have happened, because we've got Floodgates hit for the first time in forever in the TCG, more Floodgate hits in the OCG, and massive Floodgate hits in Master Duel as well. Now they only have to get rid of the person that's defending Max C, and then we're Gucci. Is there more Floodgates? I've never had a roller coaster of emotion like that in a while, man. No. Leave my runics alone, man. Just hit like a different Floodgate. Oh, come on, man. We're already playing a bunch of the bad runics anyways. I guess combo runic is okay. I'm still suffering out here, okay? I'm suffering. Pot of Desires is one of those cards. As a player, I'm just completely indifferent, I think, where that card is. Like, whether it's at 1, at 2, at 3, I don't really care. I don't know if I'm the only one. I don't even like Pot of Desire. I play it a decent amount. I think it's a good card, don't get me wrong. I don't like playing it. Whenever I play Desires, I feel anxious. Desires gives me anxiety. That Desires gives me trust issues. I wonder why. Yeah, dude. Me and Desires is yeah, we don't like each other that much. Ooh, Kaiser Coliseum from 3 to 1. Honestly, out of all the Floodgates, Kaiser Coliseum was probably one of the less oppressive ones. I mean, I'm not going to complain about a Floodgate hit, I'll be honest. If it's got the freaking continuous sign on it, it can go, man. I don't care. Get out of here. Oh, also another card with that sign on it, Kashira Birth. Honestly, we'll take that trade. We'll give 1 destruction away to lose 2 births. That's fine. We'll take it. Massive Kashira hits. Losing a Fenrir and losing 2 births? Oh, that probably means Arisard is here to stay, and they wanted to address Kashtira. I'll be honest, I haven't seen that much Kashtira recently, but still, I mean, I think Birth is one of the most broken cards in the deck. The reason why I like the Birth hit so much is also because it's not just a consistency hit. This severely hurts like the grind game of the deck. Like, if you get rid of 1 Birth, it's so much harder for them to get another one. Whereas like previously, you could clear their entire freaking board if they freaking have another Birth in hand, or draw another birth, or top deck another unicorn. They were still completely chilling and vibing and doing like 5 monsters off of 1 freaking card. Follow-up births have been insane for Kashtira, and I think that's a massive hit and a very good one at that. Duality from 2 to 1, dude. Flu can't catch a break. I've spoiled myself because I'm bad at scrolling. Okay, I'm pretty sure this one's aimed at Runic Stun. There, oh my god. What did they do to Runic Stun, man? 1 Duality, 1 Coliseum, 1 Desires, 1 Destruction, 1 Tigaboo, 1 Border. Dude, they murdered Runic Stun, man. I mean, I'm here for it, except for the Destruction hit. So Duality from 2 to 1. Honestly, Flu's already dead. We don't care about Flu no more. But the hit to Runic Stun, obviously, welcome. Delicious Memory from 2 to 1. So previously, I assumed it was at 2, but it's now at 1. That's overall a lot of memories that they lost. They are suffering from severe memory loss right now with the Pearly. Pearly has acquired dementia. You can deal with 1 Delicious, as you can see in the TCG. You can definitely deal with 2 Pretty. You can deal with 2 White Cats, but all of it together, I think, makes it, like, very weird, I think. There's gonna be a lot of games where you're just not gonna reveal memories off of the top of your deck with the White Cat, and you only have 2 White Cats to begin with. Keep in mind, they still get E Purely Noir, and with 3 Sleepy Memories, that is a really big thing. I think until they get the Small Noir, I wouldn't play Pearly with those hits, but when they get it, you might give it another chance. Synchro Zone, what the hell, man? That's so funny, man. That card is so bad. They're just doing it out of pure spite for Runic Stun. That is so funny. That card is not even good. Honestly, glorious. There's cards to be forbidden. Chaos Ruler's been banned. I mean, it should be banned. I'll say it. The card is fun to play with, don't get me wrong, but it should be banned. But still, there's a couple cards in Master Duel where I feel like, at least in my mind, I'm like, they've been around for so long and they never did anything about them, so they must want them in the game, and I was not expecting them to ever do something about it. And one of those cards was Chaos Ruler. Kind of like Maxi, but like, okay, they changed their mind. Good decision. I mean, severe hit to Dragon Link, I think, but Dragon Link can function without it. Okay, now, I don't know. Can they function without that, though? Dude, I crafted so many of these to get a royal one. Oh, man, no. Okay. I will say, I'm putting my personal suffering aside right now. I think that's a good hit. I think the baby dragons are very, very powerful. And I think Dragon Link deserves a hit, even though I like Dragon Link. But Dragon Link is one of those decks where it's really only fun for the person playing it. The person playing against Dragon Link, and I've been in that situation a couple times in the last couple weeks, you just sit there and freaking watch. You get the popcorn out, you get something to drink, you get a Peepo blanket, and you wait. They are severe hits, but you could probably still play some form of Dragon Link. Bro, they murdered Stun. Stun has been demolished. What the hell, man? They are sending a message to the Stun Andes out there. Holy! I was a fan of Cardomize in 2017. I think this card used to be cool when they first made it, and then it turned into a stun tool that has never been used outside of stun anymore. And so I think it's good that they banned it now. Super heavy samurai soul breaker armor. You guys are saying FTK prevention? Okay, I see. They're just preparing for the super heavy samurai release. I see. That makes sense. This is the end. Oh, God. Damn, that's a lot of changes. What the hell? I think it's good. The majority of changes here, maybe even every change, is a step in the right direction. And I mean, if they hit so many cards, what is this, like 20 hits or something like that? That's a lot of steps in the right direction. Overall, most of these hits are very good. Stun doesn't only lose Floodgates, Stun also loses Demise, Desires, Duality, which is also huge. Massive Dragon hits, massive Kashtira hits, I'll call it massive Pearly hits, and some interesting unlimits. So all the things that are on here are good, make sense, like it, love it. What is missing? Cyber's piles? That is definitely true. To be fair though, they put diameter to 1. How are they going to survive? They didn't hit Vanquish Soul. I mean, Fenri to 1, Peekaboo to 1, slight Vanquish Soul hits. Didn't hit Branded at all. I think the biggest winners of this are Branded, Cybers, and Lab. Because the biggest counter to Branded and Mathmech was like the Bestials, right? And like those were played in Dragon Link, and Dragon Link has received huge hits here. Are people still going to be able to play as many Bestials as they used to? Is an interesting question to ask here. If people stop main decking a lot of Bestials, you know, how are we going to counter the Mathmechs and the Brandeds and even the Labyrinths in this world to some extent, you know? Also, a lot of ultra rare CP to be gotten, you know? They could only go so long without hitting ultra rares. Let's be real. Like, people always mention those as reasons, as like, oh, they hit this card and not that card because that card's an ultra rare and they don't want to give you the CP. You can only do that so long until cards that are ultra rares are just problematic. Very simple. If they make the best cards ultras to get us to spend money on the game, sure, I guess, you know, do that, but then you still eventually have to follow up on that and still hit the ultras sometimes, you know? You can't always make the good cards ultra and then never hit ultras. That doesn't work out, and I'm glad that they realized that. Cool ban list though, like it. Looking forward to playing with it on January 10th.